God is so great. Hi guys, welcome to another video. This one is just like, I don't know, this one's a kind of chill video. This one is, yeah, chill. But at the same time, there's a little bit of drama that happens. But it's just promises. God is he's so full of promises. If you read throughout the whole Bible, there are so many promises, or you could call them, I guess, prophecies, but he promises so many good and bad things. Like he tells them, bad things are going to happen. But he also is like, I'm going to bless you. Even though you're a screw up, even though, you make mistakes, I love you because I am God and I have chosen you. And so it's just a beautiful thing. God has chosen me. We can have a relationship with God who made heaven and earth. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, let's continue with this story. All right, so in my last couple videos, I did tell you a little snippet, actually, of what was going to happen in this video, because I kind of messed up the chapters and I got ahead of myself. 2 videos ago, I don't really know what it's titled. You might not have seen it. Anyway, it's fine. I talked about how God was promising Abram land. And that land is the land of Canaan. That's the land that all these crazy things have been happening. And Abram's already living kind of in that area. So God is like, look at this land. Look around. From north, south, east, west, I'm going to give you everything. And your kids and your land, the amount of kids is going to be as countless as the dust of the land. Can you imagine that? How many people you have in connection with you. Your kids, your lineage is going to be as countless as the stars. Because, guys, like, crazy things happen in our nation, in this world today, that if you think about it, generations kind of die off. And God is promising Abram that, like, basically, it's never going to die off. Like, his lineage, his genealogy, his family tree is never going to die off. Like, it's going to be as countless as the dust. Crazy. So anyway, God is like, look around. I'm going to give you this land. I'm promising it to you. And then what does Abram say? Abram's like, well, I don't know if you know about the situation right now. Of course you do, God. But my wife is having problems having kids. So we don't have any kids right now. So how is this going to work? How am I going to have it? Is somebody else, like maybe Lot, is this going to come through him, or, my servants, or, in connection with me? And God is like, shut up. No, I'm promising you something. Wait, be patient. But because of your snarkiness, I'm going to have a time, 400 years, where I think it was like grandchildren or something, or your next generation of kids are going to be going through some major stuff. And they're going to live away from the land that I promised you. But eventually they'll get back to this Canaan, the land that I'm talking about right here, right now. And that is about the book of Exodus. So guys, keep watching these videos because all of this stuff connects. All of these promises that God is talking about right now is in connection with directly what happens in the future. And it is all written down in the history book called the Bible. It's amazing. So anyway, Abram gets a little snarky. God says, be quiet, let me work. Things are going to happen now because of this. But also it was in God's plan too. He knew Abram would be snarky, but he still made this plan. But he's like, not in your lifetime though. I'm going to bless you, Abram. You're going to die before these things happen. But just letting you know, this is going to happen. So, yeah, God gives him the promise. Sarai is still not with child. So that's a whole thing. It is true. Like, God might promise us some things and we're like, all right, well, you promised it. When is it going to happen? Like, I'm here in the land. So maybe Abram's thinking right now, well, I'm in the land right now. You said you promised it to me. All right, I'm here in the land. All right, now where's the kids? Where's the dust? There's the dust. Like, am I going to see it in my lifetime? This, like, numerous amount of kids and kindred and family. So anyway, let me go ahead and read the passage because this went a little bit longer. But it's Genesis 15. God's covenant with Abram. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. Fear not, Abram, I am your shield. Your reward shall be very great. But Abram said, O Lord God, what will you give me? For I continue childless, and the mayor of my house of Eliezer and Damascus. And Abram said, Behold, you haven't given me no offspring, and a member of my household will be my heir. So Abram's like, so I don't have any kids, so I'm assuming, somebody in my household is going to have, like, the heir, the kid, and it's going to be still kind of in connection with me. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him and said, This man shall not be your heir. Your very own son shall be your heir. And he brought him outside, and he said, Look toward heaven, the numbers of and number the stars, if you are able to number them. God has got a great sense of humor. Then he said to him, So shall your offspring be. And he believed the Lord, and he continued it to him as righteousness. And he said to him, I am the Lord who brought you out from Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land to possess. But he said, O Lord God, how am I to know that I shall possess it? And he said to him, Bring me a heifer, 3 years old, a female goat, 3 years old, a ram, 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he brought him all these things, cut them in half, and laid them half over against the other. But he did not cut the birds in half. And when birds of the prey came down on the carcasses, Abram drove them away. And the sun was going down. A deep sleep fell on Abram, and behold, a dreadful and great darkness fell upon him. Then the Lord said to Abram, Know for certain that your offspring will be sojourners in the land that is not theirs, and will be servants there. And they will be afflicted for 400 years. This is what I'm talking about. This is the Exodus. But I will bring judgment on there, and they will be afflicted for 400 years. But I will be judgment on the nations that they serve, and afterwards they shall come out with great possessions. As for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a good old age. And they shall come back here in the 4th generation. For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. Oh, interesting. When the sun had gone down and it was dark, behold, a smoking firepot and a flaming torch passed between these pieces. On that day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, To your offspring I give you this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates, the land of the Canaanites, the Kenizzites, the Kidmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. This is like all of the land, like all of the kids and stuff connected to Ham. And Noah had basically cursed Ham and like his kids, Canaan, and all that was connected to him, and said, you guys are going to be servants to Shem and Japheth's offspring. And this is what's going on, guys. Abram is of the lineage of Shem, and Shem, Noah had said that the promise. And so God is even talking about it. He's like, yep, It's true. You guys are going to be servants. It's crazy stuff, guys. God is, the way God works, there's so much darkness in the world. And yet God is like, all right, yeah, bad things are going to happen. But I'm still going to give you the things I promise. I'm still going to show you my goodness to you, even though you don't deserve it, even though your kids don't deserve it, even though your offspring doesn't deserve it. Because I made a promise with you, I'm going to keep that promise. And God is just so good, guys. He's just so good. So if he promises you something, he's going to keep that promise. Whether it's what you think is your timing or not, it's always God's timing, and his timing is perfect. So just remember that. So yeah, some little back and forth with Abram and God, honestly. God's kind of like, will you just listen to me? Will you just trust me and what I have for you? And oh, by the way, your kids are going to struggle, but they're still going to end up back in this land because I promised it. I keep my promises. Remember that. All right. Love you guys. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you for listening to my incessant talking.